Good morning. Today we'll be studying the third chapter of Shevitat Asor. In this chapter, we'll deal with the other types of deprivations other than eating and drinking on Yom Kippur, namely rechitza, washing, ne'ilat sandal, wearing leather shoes, sicha, anointing oneself with oil, and tashmish hamita, marital relations. Shevitat Asor Perek Gimel Halacha Aleph. It is forbidden for one to wash themselves on Yom Kippur, whether being in hot water or with lukewarm water. Ben kol gufo, ben ever ehad, whether it being one's entire body or whether it being a single limb. Even one small finger is prohibited to wash or to put underwater. Interestingly, in regards to Netilat Yadayim, it would seem that Harambam was of the opinion that there is no Netilat Yadayim on Yom Kippurim or even Tisha B'Av. Netilat Yadayim, obviously, for before Tefillah or Kiryat Shema, and obviously washing one's face in order to make the beracha of Ha'ma'avi Shana Me'enai. However, there are other Chachamim who did allow Netilat Yadayim on Yom Kippurim, but it seems that from Harambam that Netilat Yadayim would also be prohibited on Yom Kippur. This Mishnah, this sentence is taken from a Mishnah Yoma from Rabbi Eliezer. A king and a newly wedded wife wash their face. A wife, in order for her not to look unattractive to her husband. And the king, in order for him to look presentable and to look nice. As it says in Yeshaya, a king, you should look at the king when he looks presentable and when he looks nice. And how long is a woman called a kala for? She's called a kala 30 days into her marriage. Bet. Someone who, an exception to what we said, someone who got dirty because of excrement or mud or cement or something of the sort, he may wash the place that he got dirty and he doesn't have to hesitate with the washing. And a woman may wash one of her hands in water and feed her son bread. Rabbi Menachem Meiri, one of the famous Rishonim, writes that the reason for this is because of the zohama, or some type of bacteria or microbe that Chachamim were worried about, that if someone does not wash their hands before they eat, may go to the food and cause sickness to the child. And someone who's sick may wash as he usually would, even though he isn't in danger if he doesn't wash. Anyone who is obligated to dip in the mikveh in order to become tahor, not just for someone to go and go to the mikveh just to go to the mikveh. This is only in terms of becoming tahor, which isn't considered a hitzah ta'anug. So, for example, if someone wanted to enter the Beit HaMikdash, he may go to the mikveh and do tevilah. Ben b'Tisha B'Av, ben b'Yom Kippurim, whether being on Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. And again, this is only hayavet tevilot, so those people who, for example, like to dip into the mikveh nowadays before Yom Kippur or before Shabbat or whatever, which is something very nice and praiseworthy, but would not be allowed to do on Yom Kippur or Tisha B'Av. Someone who had a seminal emission nowadays on Yom Kippur. Im lahu mekaneh b'mapav. If it was moist, he may wipe the area with a napkin, and that's sufficient. Im yaveshu, however, if it was dry, or if it was soiled, he washes the places that got dirty or soiled, and he may pray. And Harambam here is telling us, Bazeman Hazeh, because it is allowed for a person who had a seminal emission to pray, as we talked about in Hod Kiryat Shema, in contrast to the takana that Ezra Sofer made, that that a person would have to go to the mikveh before praying or before doing Kiryat Shema. However, again, now because the tzibur lo yata yechola la'amod be'ota gezerah, because the public was not able to withstand the takana, a person today, if he had a seminal emission on Yom Kippur, may simply, again, assuming it is, if it is moist, he may just wipe it off, and if it is dry, he can wash that area. And it is prohibited for him to go to the mikveh or wash his entire body. So today, tevilah nowadays does not render someone tahor, because we're all timeim because of tumat met. And the washing of a ba'al keri for tefillah is only a minhag, and despite the fact that it was a minhag that the public was not able to withstand. And this minhag does not get rid of an explicit isur. For example, the minhag of that some people have to go to the mikveh if they're ba'alei kiriyim does not push aside the prohibition of washing. Rather, minhag can only prohibit something that's already allowed. And they only said that someone who has a seminal emission on the eve of Yom Kippurim dips in the mikveh only, again, when we had this takana of someone who had a seminal emission. But as we said, that takana became null and void. הלכה ד' תיצ'ו לך ביותר כדי שיניח אדם ידו עליו ותעלה בלחלוחית, שאם הדביק בה לידו האחרת תדבק בלחלוחית, אסור לשב בו. If there was a type of mud that was extremely moist, that if someone would place his hand on it, and that same wetness would cause his other hand to become wet, so it was wet enough for if he got one hand wet and he touched his other hand, the other hand would be wet as well. It is prohibited for someone to sit there, because it's as if he's washing in a way. It is also, a person may not fill up a kili heres, a type of clay bowl or utensils, type of clay bowl or cup, in order for him to place his hands on it and cool his hands, and use his hands to cool the rest of his body, because water oozes from the walls, and back in the day, their clay were extremely porous. So too, metal kelim are also prohibited for one to put water in and to cool himself, because the water might splash from the kli onto oneself. However, it is allowed for one to cool himself using a fruit. Again, back in the day, they would use these types of things they would place their hands on it and cool themselves because of the temperature of the water or the fruit. But again, using it for water in Klei Matachot and Klei Cheres is Asur, but it is permitted with Pirot. הלכה היא, לוקח אדם מטפחת מאר ביום הכיפורים ושורע אותה במים ומנגבה מעט ומניחה תחת הבגדים. ולמחר מעבירה על פניו ואין חושש, ואף על פי שיש בה קור הרבה. A person may take from the day before Yom Kippurim, the eve of Yom Kippurim, put water, soak a cloth or a handkerchief in water, and place it under his clothes directly onto his body, and then the next day he may remove it and place it on his face, and he doesn't need to hesitate despite the fact that it may be pretty cold, and it's again not considered washing. הלכה ו' ההולך להקביל פני חברו או פני אביו או מי שהיה גדול ממנו בחוכמה. If someone went to greet his teacher of Torah, that is, or his father, or someone who is greater than him in terms of knowledge or wisdom, or to recite Pesukim and to read in the Beit HaMikdash, he may walk through a pool of water and not hesitate. And he may do the mitzvah that he was on his way to do. And he may return the same way that he came. That being, he may go through the water on his way back. Because if you wouldn't permit him to return, he would never go in the first place. And he would be, as a result, fail to perform a mitzvah. So to someone who is going to guard or protect his fruits, he may go in water, walk in water up to his neck, and he does not need to hesitate. And this is all under the assumption that these people don't extend their bare hands farther than their sleeves and roll up their sleeves, so their clothes won't get wet as someone would do on a regular weekday. If someone would typically put their hand into a body of water, it would usually on a weekday roll up their sleeves. On Yom Kippur, one should refrain from doing that. Halacha Zayin. Asulin ol min al lesandal. It's prohibited for one to wear leather shoes or sandals. Afilu beraglo ahat, even if he was only wearing it on one foot. This is actually a famous story in Masechet Yoma, Daf Ayin Het Amud Aleph, that they saw Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi walking on Yom Kippur sandal shel sha'am. It is allowed again to walk on Yom Kippur with a sandal made out of sha'am is bamboo and gome is reed grass. It is also allowed for a person to wrap his foot with a type of cloth and walk on it in Yom Kippur because the hardness of the ground reaches his foot, and he truly feels as if he is barefoot when wrapping simply a cloth on his foot. And a minor may, despite the fact that they are allowed to eat, drink, wash, or anoint on Yom Kippur, we refrain them from wearing leather shoes. This is a statement from Shemuel, actually on the same daf, just the other side, on Masechet Yoma daf Ayin Het Amud Bet. מותר לכל אדם לנעול את הסנדל מחמת עקרב וכיוצא בה כדי שלא תשכנו. It is allowed for a person to wear leather shoes if he was afraid a scorpion would bite him or anything of the sort. והחיה מותרת לנעול את הסנדל משום צינה כל 30 יום. A woman who gave birth is allowed to wear leather shoes because of the cold all 30 days after her birth. This follows the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer and not Chachamim. והחולק היוצא בו, אף על פי שאין שם סכנה, and a sick person, the same applies to him. He may wear leather shoes, despite the fact that there isn't this fear of coldness for someone who's sick. הלכה ט' אסור לסוך מקצת גופו ככל גופו, בין שיחה של התענוג, בין שיחה שאינה לתענוג. It is prohibited for a person to anoint themselves with oil, just like it's forbidden to anoint part of the body. It is also prohibited to anoint the entire body, despite the fact that it being an anointing of pleasure or delight, and whether it is for a anointing that isn't for pleasure or delight. However, if someone was sick, and despite the fact that he may not be in danger, or if he has some type of scabs on his head, he may anoint himself and not hesitate. Final halacha yod. יש מקומות שנהגו להדליק את הנר בליל יום הכיפורים כדי שתהיה לו בושת פנים מאשתו ולא יבוא לידי תשמיש המיטה. There are some places that would, it was customary there that they would keep a lamp lit on the eve of Yom Kippur in order for a man to be embarrassed from his wife and for them not to engage in marital relations. ויש מקומות שנהגו שלא להדליק, שמא יראה אשתו ויסחן בעיניו ויבוא לידי תשמיש. And there were certain places that it was customary, the exact opposite, that they would specifically not keep a lamp lit in order for him not to look at his wife and to find favor in his eyes and to engage in marital relations. However, if Yom Kippur fell out on Shabbat, everyone is obligated to light in every place. As the obligation of, as the lighting of a lamp on Yom Kippur on Shabbat is mandatory, despite it being on Yom Kippur, despite it not being on Yom Kippur. And this is a very, very interesting example that there was of many different places that would have the exact opposite minhag for the exact same reason. So both Chachamim justify both of these reasons in the Gemara, and they both come to achieve the same purpose. The purpose of both of these minhagim were for a person not to engage in marital relations with his wife, and the different places and different communities would have different ways to do that. And Chachamim justify both, and it depends on the minhag of a person's locale for him to determine what a person should or should not do on Yom Kippur in terms of having a lamp lit.